Hello, Professor and class. Patient flow is the movement of patients and resources through the patient care area and is an issue that can greatly affect the quality of healthcare provided to the patient. Patients and resources need to be able to flow freely through the areas they are needed in order to provide the best care possible for patients. Having poor patient flow can cause many issues, among them not serving as many patients as efficiently as possible, poor care being given to patients, and patients being unsatisfied with care they receive. In this briefing, I will be discussing the methods that can be used for improving any area in your facility along with specific ways to improve patient flow. To begin, we will look at some ways that improvement can be made in general. David Gottschee and Stanley Davis, authors of Quality Management for Organizational Excellence, provide some essentials to improvement. These activities are maintaining communication, correcting the obvious issues, look upstream, document problems and progress, and monitor change. These strategies can be applied to improving the patient flow and in other areas that need improvement. Gottschee and Davis mentioned 3 approaches to quality improvement: the Kaizen approach, the Cedric approach, and the Six Sigma approach. The Kaizen approach is the process of incremental improvement. The improvement process is focused on people, processes, and products. When using the Kaizen approach, there is a continual improvement all the time. This approach uses the 5 S's: sort, store, shine, standardize, and sustain. The sorting step separates the necessary from the unnecessary. By doing so, you are getting rid of the unnecessary things. Store is a cleaning step. Store is when things are organized and placed away correctly to provide easy access. Shine is the cleaning step, literally making it shine. Standardizing the best practices is the next step in the process. Lastly, you want to sustain by sticking to the standardized procedures. The Cedric approach is also known as the cause and effect diagram that requires 3 conditions that must be present for continual improvement to happen. The 3 things needed are a reliable system, a favorable environment, and practicing as a team. To have improvement with the Cedric approach, you have to have systems in place that work. They should be standardized and used by everyone. The environment needs to be open to improvement. Teamwork is vital to most improvement strategies, and the Cedric approach is no different. The Six Sigma approach is a little more complex than the first 2 methods we spoke about. It is a 6-step process for improvement. The steps are identifying the product characteristics wanted by customers, classifying them in terms of importance, determining how they are controlled, determine the allowable tolerance for each characteristic, determining the process variation, and lastly, change the design to achieve the Six Sigma process performance. The Six Sigma approach is not something that can be done alone. There needs to be many players in the process. A key factor in these systems is teamwork and working together as a team. Men's Health offers a great seminar for improving patient flow with many toolkit strategies. For the purposes of this brief, I watched the seminar video on Strategy 1, which is clinician and management working together to improve patient flow. This struck me as important as oftentimes as a manager we forget that the provider is the one on the front line that can provide invaluable information on improving patient flow. The first point made by Andrew Connolly, the presenter, was that the divide between management and clinician has got to go away as it's only hurting the patient. He provided some tips for building this relationship. Having a common purpose, understanding each side, and understanding MHO drivers were a few. Knowing your community needs was also mentioned as a key point to success in working together. If both managers and clinicians know what their community needs, then they can determine a plan together to meet those needs. According to Dr. Jane Carter, OD, 3 things that are needed is communication, flexibility, and consistency. Communication is a huge factor in teamwork, so you can see how Dr. Carter's point works well with what Connolly stated about teamwork. Flexibility is important as it allows the staff to work with what situations arise during the day. An example Dr. Carter gives is if a 9:30 patient is late but the 10 o'clock patient is there, it would be more helpful to be flexible and take the 10 o'clock patient early than waiting for a possible no-show. Consistency can be set forth by having standardized practices, procedures, and ensure they are being followed by staff members. If there is not communication between the provider and staff members, consistency will be impossible. The two previously recommendations came from different people with different positions in their organization, but both capitalized on the idea that Goshi and David have mentioned and discussed, and the types of continuation and quality improvement. Teamwork and standardization are two concepts mentioned more than once in terms of continual improvement. It is important to keep in mind that continual improvement cannot be done alone. It takes a whole lot of work as a team to provide better quality of care on a regular basis. When implementing any of the recommendations using any continual improvement strategy, the requirements for implementation are the same. To start, top management needs to be committed to the improvement being made and the process chosen. After management has committed to the project, they will need to commit to the appropriate amount of resources that will be needed. Next, it's time to get multiple people from multiple departments to be a part of the team that will take control of the project and move it forward. Once there is a team in place, planning should take place, followed by letting everyone know the plan and the goals so that the organization as a whole can be involved. No matter what continual improvement method you choose, take the advice of Mr. Connolly and work with the clinician staff to implement the method. To be successful in improving patient care flow, or any improvement plan, you will need to ensure that both managers and clinicians are part of the plan and part of implementing the plan. Thank you so much.